Hi everyone, today I want to show you how to knit grid stitch. Grid stitch is a really nice and easy 4-row repeat. It only uses knits and purl stitches, so it's great for if you're wanting to up your skills slightly but you're not quite ready to tackle decreases or increases or anything like that. It's a reversible stitch, so it looks the same on the front as it does on the back, which makes it great for projects where you don't want to have a right and wrong side. So let's jump right in and I'll show you how to knit this stitch. To work grid stitch, you want to cast on an odd number of stitches. It also has a tendency to look slightly messy on the edges if you don't add a couple of selvage stitches. So the main part of this project is still an odd number of stitches, but I've added one stitch at each end just to keep the edges nice. If you were adding a garter stitch border, then you could take these selvage stitches out of the equation when working your border, because that will give the stability that this stitch needs to not look a complete mess on the edges. So you want to cast on an odd number of stitches. It doesn't matter how many that you do, as long as it is an odd number. I'm going to cast on 35 today because I'm just going to make a small sample. Once you've cast on your stitches, we're going to jump straight into the 4-row repeat. So row 1, you want to knit the first stitch, and knit the second stitch. Then you want to purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and you want to work knit 1, purl 1 all the way across your row until you have 2 stitches left. When you get to the final 2 stitches, you want to knit both those stitches. And turn your work, and row 2 is really similar, but we work the first stitch is a knit 1 because that's our selvage stitch, so we always knit the first stitch, and then you want to work purl 1, knit 1 all the way along until you have 2 stitches left. When you get to the end, you want to finish off with a purl 1 and a knit 1. Row 3 is super easy. You want to knit all your stitches all the way across, knit every single one. There's no purls in row 3. Row 4, the final row of our 4-row repeat, is also just all stitches knitted. So it's the same as row 3, you just want to knit all your stitches. And that's our 4-row repeat. It's really nice and simple. So just to go over it one more time for you, row 1, you want to knit the first stitch, and then you want to work knit 1, purl 1 all the way across until you just have 2 stitches remaining. When you get to your last 2 stitches, you want to knit both those stitches. Row 2, you want to knit the first stitch, and then you want to work purl 1, knit 1 all the way along until you have 2 stitches remaining. And if you've worked your row correctly, your last 2 stitches should be a purl 1 and a knit 1. Row 3, you knit all your stitches. For row 4, you also want to knit all your stitches. And when it comes to casting off, row 4 is also the best row to cast off on because it leaves you with a symmetrical complete grid pattern when you've cast off. You can cast off at any other point during the repeat, but if you cast off during row 4, then your grid will have a nice neat top and bottom and will be symmetrical at top and bottom as well as at both sides. And that's our second 4-row repeat done. This stitch you would just carry on working your 4 rows until your project is big enough. It doesn't curl, which makes it a great stitch to use for scarves. So let your imagination go wild and create lots of beautiful things with this cute little 4-row repeat. And that's how you knit grid stitch. You can see here, this is my cast off row, and I cast off knitwise during a row 4, and you can see how it means that your project looks the same top and bottom on this side, and then also the same top and bottom on the wrong side. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up if you have, and I'll see you for another tutorial soon. Bye!